Hey everybody, welcome to Dad, Daughters, and Drinks, where you'll always get at least two of those three. Today, we've got Alip Bata for all of you Alipers out there, Kopi Mana Kopi, and we are going to be doing Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton is obviously one of the all-time great guitar players. This song is a super classic. I've been listening to this since I was a little kid, and so I'm very excited to see what Alip is going to do with this one. So my only thing I can say before I get started is, can somebody tell me what his hat says in the comments? Is this a location, or I'm not sure what that's saying, but I'm kind of interested to know. Let's get started. It's really interesting. So that little bend is a key part of the melody of that song, right? And it's clear that he's wanting to play those higher notes of the melody using harmonics, but there's really no simple way to bend the string when you're playing a harmonic. I mean, so if you're fretting the note, you can, do the harmonic and then bend your string that's fretting it. But if it's on an open string, you're normally kind of in some trouble. But the way he does that bend, and we've seen him do that once or twice before, where he bends up by the tuning pegs, is really cool. And I'm always impressed by how kind of perfectly bent he can make those notes pitch wise. It's funny how when a guitar player is like kind of getting into a song, like emotionally, it can make it look like they're very bored because they kind of become a little bit expressionless sometimes. And I think that's really just because their focus is so internally on what they're feeling and what they're doing that they're, it's not like a rock solo where you're making faces and, having a lot of fun like that. It's a very, it's a fine line, I think, in the facial expressions between being bored and feeling something emotionally. And a lot of times, really, it's not even the facial expressions. It's kind of almost more like head movements that clue you in that there's actually the emotional part going on. see something I might have missed before. Yeah, that's something else he doesn't do very often. It's difficult to do anytime, not just to mention in the middle of a run, as we've talked about how you can do these, there's harmonics that you can play different ways. Like you can just put your finger on a fret and right open, you know, string you're plucking with your finger on the fret. Or you can, kind of fret some certain frets with your left hand, and you have to kind of get your fingertip right over the perfect, matching fret that you want to play, right? Because the harmonics, I don't want to go into a lot of theory about it, but there's certain frets that you can get harmonics on. On an open string, it would be like, generally 12 and 7 and 5 are the big ones. You can also do kind of 4 and 3 and a third and some other things, but any kind of multiple of those are fine. So 12th fret, you can get one, and then 17th fret, kind of repeating the 5th one above. And so as you're repeating those, you actually can get up into over the hole. And as you can tell on a guitar, if you're not familiar, like the frets are getting smaller as you're getting up, closer to the bridge. And so the fret distances that are even kind of theoretical at this point, right? There's obviously no frets there, but they're kind of, theoretically there. You can still put your finger over where the fret would be and get the harmonic, but you have very little room to actually do it. There's not a lot of space for mistake on that. And one of these harmonics that he does here, he, is plucking with his thumb and putting his finger over, one of those kind of theoretical frets there. And getting those right can be a little tricky because you don't really have guidance so much. Right there. Nice. And he may have actually done that a bunch of times before I noticed that he was doing it. I think he did, because that's part of the standard melody. But this song is so easy to get lost in. Just, a lot of times I'm trying to find things to comment on, because he's always doing new things that are really. This one, there wasn't a whole lot in the way of new techniques that we have talked about before in his previous videos. But the song itself is just, it's a beautiful melody. And he does it really well. So, no surprise to me on that at all. I don't think, I know at some point I'll have reacted to all of the songs he's released, and that will be a very sad day, because I don't think I'll ever get tired of reacting. It's out. I will have a link to the original video in the description, as well as a link to the videos that I've done with my kids. If you like these reactions, it would help me out if you go ahead and like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys all again on the next one. Great day.